Sam Martin corrals the snap. It's a short punt. Gibson on the return. Near side. I don't see any flags. Gibson inside the 30. Hits the Jets. And he's going to go. Jets win it. Touchdown. Rookie Xavier Gibson. Game over. Made some moves with Chaz Surratt out in front of him delivering the key block. Martin couldn't bring him down.
Let's start out with the game. On Monday night, the Bills started their season with a punt, and then Arron Rogers was not out there for more than 4 plays. It has been announced that he hurt at least 30-1 to win the Super Bowl. Matt Castle is the best Zach Wilson will be. Forcing 4 turnovers, the Jets defense did, and the Jets defense came up with 6 sacks. They were very good, but Arron Rodgers cannot be happy. The line was terrible last night, and the defense was very good for both sides. Matt Lano got an INT for Bills defense. The Bills defense was really good, but the Jets defense was just a little better. And Josh Allen was terrible last night. Josh Allen helped Jets by throwing 3 interceptions on James Whitehead, and that was a career high for him. It was the 3rd time in Josh Allen's career that he's turned over the ball 4 times. G.J. Reader, the Bills had a chance to win it. Allen threw 2 balls that were incomplete, and that could have won the game. But on the brinks, they put on their field goal kicker, and a bank off the backboard brought the game into overtime. The Bills had a lot of opportunities to win the game, and including a one in overtime where the Bills punted, and then you saw the call where he returned it for the touchdown. All top 3 seeds in the AFC went down this weekend, 22-16. If you want more on the podcast, here's that link. It was announced that Arron Rodgers was done for the season. The Jets won their game, but they probably had their worst nightmare ever. Now they're not going to make the playoffs most likely, and maybe the 1-game rally will work for next week, but then reality will hit them. Now on to the Chiefs. Chris Jones got a new deal called the option game. I wanted them to trade for Chris Jones because I was absolutely pissed, but that doesn't make me a good GM. That makes me a fan. Options for Chris Jones was Chris Jones signs a long-term deal giving him $80 million or $70 million if the Chiefs don't budge. Those 2 options, I think, put the Chiefs in a worse position and need is what I would need for the Chiefs to take it. Option 4 or 5 would have been good. The one the Chiefs chose is better to win the Super Bowl now. With Mahomes, this was the best thing that could happen for this season. Maybe the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, maybe not. In conclusion, this deal was not a long-term deal, so that's why this deal helps the Chiefs. He only can make more money than he did this year if he wins Defensive Player of the Year or All-Pro and the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Otherwise, Chris Jones lost money over a 2-month holdout.
I mean, probably not that much different than everyone else thinks of it. I mean, it certainly doesn't seem like Chris got what he wanted, but I actually don't blame him for trying. I think it was the only card he could play. Chris Jones had all the leverage for if the Chiefs' goal was a long-term deal to keep Chris Jones here for 3+ years, including this year.
Totally disagree.
And I thought that the Chiefs had the leverage if, their goal was just to get him to be on their team for 2023. But the biggest threat that Chris Jones made was to sit out to Week 8, and the Chiefs are trying to because the Chiefs are trying to win like in Week 17 and the playoffs, and like they're trying to win games in January and potentially February. They still want to win games in September and October because it sets you up for those months, but I just didn't think the threat of sitting out the first 8 weeks was as big of a threat as it probably is for a lot of other teams.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I still don't see where he had leverage against a team that has said, we're not tearing up the last year of the deal. He actually was getting what he wanted, and I think this is the foolish part. See if you agree with this. $55 million in guaranteed money was being offered out there.
He should have taken it, yeah.
On top of the $19.5 million.
Yeah, and listen, there's something...
Now he's got to go back to work and not get hurt.
Yeah.
Play pretty well, and he can get what he had. No $55.5 million. If he has the greatest season in his career, he can get another $1 million, or equals the greatest season in his career. 15 sacks.
You mean from Kansas City or from...
Yeah, from Kansas City. Okay. $1 million. 15 sacks.
Oh, you just mean his
first
incentives
team,
this year. Okay.
Incentives. Yeah. And then if he's the defensive player of the year, something he's never been, and the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. So if they just get knocked off in a heartbreaking shootout, great game, or even defensive struggle 6-3 where he has 12 sacks, he is nothing.
When he's missed a game, too.
And he's missed a game to try to accumulate these totals. And so, and the $55 million, poof, is gone. Oh, and they can still franchise tag him, which, seems unlikely at the number, especially because I think most of us don't think he's going to make most of those incentives. So do you really want to tie up that much money? I don't think so based upon how their cap is structured, but I don't know if Joe Tooney blows out his Achilles tendon tomorrow, gets a lot easier to walk away from him, not even renegotiate, just walk and say, okay, well, we don't know if he's going to come back and be able to play. There are scenarios where I can see where he plays great and they go, yeah, we are putting the franchise tag on you. And he goes, okay, well, I want a multi-year deal. And they go, no. Like, we were willing to give you 3. Why would we give you 3 now? We didn't want the 4th year on the 3-year deal. We'll give you 2. And our offer now is $29.5. And if you don't like it, sit out again and watch how this thing plays. The $55 million is not what he wanted, but at some point, do any of us make what we want?
Hey, Arron Rogers, laughing stock of New York City. Man, we thought you'd save the Jets, but instead you just played Yes, you did. Leonard Floyd sacked you 3 minutes in. Poor Zach Wilson. Hey, Arron Rodgers making $80 million just to sit right on the bench, getting high off ayahuasca. What a guy. We know that you won't tell us lies. You're immunized. Oh, Arron Rodgers, please. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, Arron Rodgers, jeez. Oh, now I'm fantasy. Should we call Testaverde? Because we need quarterback.